Section 1 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms is the Charter's Reasonable Limits Clause. It says charter rights are not absolute. The government may limit a right, but only if that limit is reasonable and can be justified in a free and democratic society. In short, whenever government action infringes a charter right, the state must explain why the limitation is necessary. The Supreme Court of Canada gave Section 1 concrete meaning in the landmark case R v. Oakes in 1986. Oakes established a four-step legal framework, now called the Oakes Test, that courts use whenever a right has been infringed and the government claims the restriction is justified. The Oakes Test asks four things. First, does the law pursue a pressing and substantial objective? The government must identify an important public goal, like public safety, protecting vulnerable groups, or maintaining the rule of law. Second, is there a rational connection between the law and that objective? The limit must actually help achieve the stated goal. Third, does the law minimally impair the right? Courts require the government to adopt the least intrusive measure reasonably available. Finally, is there proportionality between the law's benefits and its harmful effects on rights? The salutary effects must outweigh the negative impact on the claimant's freedoms. Oakes itself rejected a reverse onus drug possession rule because it failed these steps. Since Oakes, the court has applied the test many times, sometimes upholding limits, sometimes striking them down. For example, in R v. Keegstra, 1990, the court found hate propaganda laws did infringe freedom of expression, but were justified under Section 1. Preventing hate speech was a pressing goal, and the law, as applied, was proportionate. In R v. Butler, 1992, limits on obscene material were also held to be justified to prevent harm associated with certain kinds of pornography. By contrast, in R v. Zundel, 1992, a law criminalizing false news was struck down. The government failed to show the limitation met Section 1's requirements. Other cases show the court's careful balancing approach. R v. Edwards Books, 1986, upheld Sunday closing laws as a valid, limited restriction aimed at providing a common day of rest. R v. Sharp, 2001, upheld prohibitions on child pornography while narrowly reading parts of the law to avoid overbreadth, illustrating the minimal impairment principle in action. The practical effect of Section 1 is that rights are protected, but not absolute. Governments can act for important social goals, but they must justify in detail why the restriction is necessary, tightly framed, and proportionate. Section 1 forces that justification into public view and gives courts a structured way to test government claims. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe. I'm doing a full series breaking down each charter right with real cases. Which case should I explain next? Drop it in the comments.